Hello, Sharlock here. I had thoughts about making this rant or counter rant like video if you like for a while now. The reason for this is basically that people claim to be Fallout fans don't appreciate some implants to the new game Fallout 3. Now the major thing I will talk about is the well-known V.A.T.S system that people seem to love or hate. As well as I will make a few quick comments about the list about negative things about the game someone made, which I will put up here now. And I will basically just say something about every point he makes, if I disagree or agree. Now when it comes to the V.A.T.S, whatever. I have to say I really enjoyed it, and I think it's a brilliant and crucial implant. And after what the developer said on interviews and such, is that they're trying to make the game as close to the originals as possible, which I think they did a good job on. I will talk about negative things in the review and plan to do, but anyways, back to my points on the V.A.T.S. The developers had a few things they could do when it comes to the action points. Now keep in mind that Fallout 1 was a smart game to make, which combined two genres that were popular at the time. They took the fighting system and the basic idea of the gameplay of a tactical strategy game, and the world, story and NPC interaction of a role-playing game. And they even made Fallout Tactics, which is just a plain tactical strategy game. No, to be true to Fallout 1 and 2, they couldn't just say, fuck the action points, let's make a real-time first-person shooter with some RPG elements. So I believe they had a few choices. One of them being, have the game pause when you enter combat, have walking, checking inventory, and shooting targets use action points. And if your perception was high enough, you could choose a body part which will give you a higher percentage of crippling that specific body part at the cost of extra action points. Now this would not work in first person or third person. This would just be really stupid. Then you had the Fallout Tactics system, which was real time. Shooting could use action points, but walking and checking inventory wouldn't cost action points. This too would be dumb, since you would be sitting most of your game time hiding behind a rock or something, recharging your action points. What they did was actually really smart. V.A.T.S did everything that you could want. You could pause the game if you are in a tight position, you can browse your targets, see their health and plan your next move if it's a vital situation, and of course decide what part of your target you want to shoot at. Now this was what Fallout 1, 2 and Tactics was all about. And the gore, don't forget the gore, nice, bloodshed, sexy. And this ain't a run and gun game, this is actually a role-playing game with tactical elements. And if you're a Fallout fan saying shit like, it takes you out of the game and let the computer aim for you, it's a cheat, then you have to rethink what you really feel about the series, plain and simple. No, I'm not saying people aren't allowed to have their own opinion about things, but if you claim to be a fan, you actually have to use your mind a bit and don't talk shit like an ignorant idiot. I have no problem with people that have no clue about what Fallout is bashing the game, because they were probably buying another game than they originally got. Now with that said, I have to go on to this splendid list. Oh, what a joy. The first thing I'm going on, since I already talked about the V.A.T.S, is... okay. The main storyline is weak overall and makes no sense later on in the game. Okay, I don't know what that's about. The main storyline might be short, but it's not weak at all. I'd say searching for your father who escaped from the vault to continue his work for science is a nice story, since you feel like you know your father from the tutorials in the start of the game. Okay, so the next one. The ending of the game is one of the worst endings possible. I'm not sure what you really mean about that, but it's multiple endings. Whatever. Okay. The game doesn't allow you to play through after the ending while it should. Well, I actually agree on that. But take your time with the main chain objective. I don't believe most people just focus on that and put the game away. So, okay. The animation in this game feels stiff and not polished at all. Moron. The graphics can be compared with a game that's from 2004. I can't agree, but who cares? This is a game that focuses on gameplay, not graphics. Like every game should be. There is too much fucking crap with lame gameplay out today. Seriously, get a fucking grip, man. The overworld is empty and filled with boring enemies that are copied pasted. I take it you didn't take the time to explore whatsoever. There is places creatures respawn, but that's for a good reason, and it's pretty few of them. Most of the game has random encounter, and boring? Hell no. I was stunned when I first saw a werewolf and a deathclaw, and man, that fucking werewolf was huge. Okay. The system that made to travel between cities for the first time offers no fun and is repetitive. Why would you make a huge open world when you force players to travel throughout metro stations? Well, you are not really forced, but you will encounter creatures you might not handle at first, so run along if you want. The waypoint on your map will change if you're close to another location, so you don't have to go through the metro stations, it's just the fastest direction. And the safest, of course. And here's the last one. The game presents itself as a first-person shooter, but fails horribly at this aspect. It's like they took a bit from both and finished none. Okay, moral once again. No, it don't present itself as a first-person shooter. They even do marketing as a third person, which I think is stupid and is not playable at all. But this is actually a role-playing game. Not first-person shooter. The game does seem a bit unfinished at times, yes, but that stupid last comment was just retarded and I shouldn't even be responding to it. Anyways, it don't take a fucking rocket scientist to understand that the focus of this game is far from a first-person shooter. So yeah, that was my so-called rant. Sorry if I wasted someone's time. I was going to say a lot more and give more details, but I'm lazy. Sorry, I just wrote this a few minutes ago. So have fun, pips. Check my review of the game sometime in the future. I will do that a little bit better. This is Shardock saying, piss off, bitch!